Hello and welcome to Life on Your Terms. I'm your host, Suzanne Arjona, and we've recently begun a series about addressing stress and burnout through the lens of human design. And today we're talking about that dreadful feeling of not being heard. Now, you know the feeling when you're bumping your head against the wall trying to get your points across, but nobody's listening. So you end up talking nonstop or maybe blurting things out inappropriately as a way to force your voice out there and get the attention that you're looking for. So this is a challenge of the open throat center, and this is what we're going to talk about today. I'm Suzanne Arjona, and this is Life on Your Terms, where we'll explore how to follow your heart, take control of your life, and live it on your terms. Okay, so you're bumping your head against the wall trying to get your points across, but nobody's listening. Maybe you end up talking nonstop, or maybe blurting things out as a way to force your voice out there and get your message heard. You have something to say, but nobody seems to want to listen. Maybe you just clam up and not open your mouth at all anymore. That would solve the problem, right? All this does is stress you out and keep you wondering what you're doing wrong. Now, with an open throat center, you are open to conditioning to speak up and speak out. You see others speaking out and being seen, but when you do it, it seems to backfire. When you're not heard or recognized, acting out or blurting out anything becomes a way to get attention and to feel like you're getting your message out there. Okay? But that's not always going to get you positive attention. And this drains your energy. You're trying to use your voice in a way that isn't consistent with your design, and it's exhausting. You stress yourself out trying to send a message that either isn't ready to be heard or isn't the right message at the moment. So what do? You shut down. You blame yourself for not being able to speak up and be seen. You keep your voice quiet, which only stresses you out more. You have to bottle all that up inside of you. You know you have these important things to say, but nobody's listening, so why even try, right? You create a belief that nobody will listen to you, so why even try to share your thoughts or ideas? Well, this isn't how it has to be, okay? When you clear away all the conditioning of having to constantly feel seen and heard with your voice, you learn that your open throat center is actually a wonderful gift. You don't need to force your voice out to the world, and you don't need to keep it to yourself. The key to the open throat center is timing. The open throat center needs to be invited or acknowledged before speaking. Now, projector types deal with this all the time. Their strategy is to wait for the invitation. And if you have an open throat center, you're going to have to sort of do the same thing, okay? Following your energy type and strategy will help you stay attuned to your open throat center, and it will help you be ready to share your inspired voice when the audience and timing are right. And if you have any defined gates in your open throat center, this can clarify even further how your voice is designed to be expressed in the world. Okay? Now, this expression can happen a number of ways. Okay? Your open throat center allows you to match other people's tone and energy, like a mirror. Okay? This allows you to connect more deeply with those people you're speaking with. When you aren't trying to push or force your voice out there, it becomes a magnet. Okay? It becomes this magnet that it was meant to be to attract the people who want to hear what you have to say. These are the people who need to hear what you have to say. And they also get to experience you mirroring what they have to say back to them, so they feel seen and heard. Okay, so it's a nice little two-way street having that gift of the open throat center. Now, the open throat can also allow you to say what needs to be said without filters. There are some line 5 folks who also have this gift, who can kind of call things out as they see them. Not everybody can do that and get away with it, but when you've got that open throat center, that's one of your additional gifts. Some jobs require the type of truth without attachment that someone with an open throat center can easily offer. Okay, take teachers or coaches, for example. Without an ego or emotional attachment, a coach can tell you where you need improvement in order to help you grow. They can reflect back to you what you bring to the table and what actions can serve you best. Now, if they simply told you what you wanted to hear or what would make you feel good, you'd probably remain right where you are with no growth. Okay, so having that open throat center is a gift for coaches in that way. Now, only about 28% of people have an open throat center. So you're likely challenged with being surrounded by the 72% who have consistent access to their voice and the confidence that goes along with that. And that can feel like a lot of pressure. Okay, these folks might also be struggling with timing, though, just like you are. And the power that their voice has can pressure how you use yours or don't use yours. Okay, they can sometimes, the challenge that people with the defined throat center might have is that they can be so forthcoming with their voice that it can come out harsh. Okay, so both sides are dealing with the timing issues and having to control how their voice is used. So learning how to use your throat center can help you release some of the stress that comes up around not being heard. Okay, your value doesn't depend on others accepting you or listening to you. Your voice, your words are inspired and bring the messages that others need to hear when the timing is right for them to receive them. Okay, again, it just comes down to the right timing. So remember, over the next few weeks, I'll be diving deeper into some of the other centers and some of the specific gates where you may experience stress and burnout. And we'll look at ways to use the gifts of your centers to shift your viewpoint and strengthen your resilience and resistance to those stressful experiences. So stay tuned, and please be sure to share this podcast with your friends. If you're enjoying this, they will too, and I appreciate you helping us grow the channel. If you'd like to follow along with some of this human design discussion, and if you don't already have your chart, you can go to coachingyourdesign.com. That's my website. And I'll put the link down in the show notes. And you can run your free chart there. You can also get a free basic report if you just kind of want to get a baseline idea of how to use your chart and what some of these terms mean. Okay. So as a reminder, the 2-day Burnout to Balance program is coming up in May. Yes, the date is set, May 27th and 29th. Now, this is a free 2-day program designed for you to release the pressure of trying to be everything to everyone else and reclaim your life so that you can live it on your own terms. Now, whether you feel like life is passing you by or you're reaching burnout and feel like you no longer have control of your life, this program is for you. Okay. Again, the link to sign up is in the show notes, or you can message me directly if you have any questions about the program, or if you just want to grab the link that way. I can send it right to you. So thank you again for tuning in this week. Please, again, share this podcast on your social media accounts, share it with your friends, and help our community grow. And join me again next week, and keep living life on your own terms.